Hello, I just wanted to do a quick, I guess a sort of a tutorial. It's a trick you can use, like a little tip for how to trigger stuff without using colliders in Unity and trigger FMOD events. And for this example, I've made this sketch, and this is a platform. This is a little guy, our player. He's running along the platform, and he wants to get to platform number 2 over here. And in order to get there, he has to jump through this portal. And the way the music is supposed to be set up is that you want to have music 1 playing over here, one kind of music, and you want a different kind of music over here that's called music 2. And when he goes from the music 1 to music 2, you want to mask the transition between the two, so you want to use a stinger. And for that, you could use a portal, for example, that he has to jump through. So that you will have a sound that kind of masks the transition between these two sounds, I guess. And for the example I've set up, it's a game that I made. It's called Cube Stacker, and it doesn't work. It has lots of errors because it's been months since I last looked at it. But I will try to explain the principles anyway. So basically the game is cubes that fall down, and you have to rotate them in order to fit on top of each other. The cubes look like this one, and then the top one and the missing one is switched around in the top and the bottom layer between 64 different combinations, I think there are. And you have to one cube spawns, it falls down, the next cube spawns, and you have to rotate it to fit on top of the previous one by typing the words on either side of the screen here. And at one point you will get the cubes stacked high enough to reach the surface of the water, and I wanted the portal thing from my sketch to be this thing, so when you breach the water, you want a stinger sound effect to change or to mask the sound that's going on up here and down here underwater. So you could say that in the sketch I have the underwater area will be music 1, and in the desert area will be music 2, while the surface will work as our portal with the stinger SFX. So from underwater through the surface of the water to in the desert. And instead of using a collider, I wanted to use the Y position of the transform of this main camera, and then I trigger the different event stuff in FMOD via script in Unity, instead of having a collider and doing it that way. So I use the height of the main camera, the Y position of its transform, to set this intensity parameter, which I've called it. And basically what happens here is we have the underwater music, and then we have the above water in the desert music, and then in between the two I want to have the splash sound effect when they transition. We have these loop regions that make sure it loops, and a transition region here that tells the playhead to jump from here to this marker F when the parameter up here is between 21 and 50. So all I've got to do from Unity is to set this parameter to a new value in order to make the music progress. That's pretty handy. And a way to insert this splash SFX is to simply just reference it inside of your parameter sheet here, so that when the intensity cursor here scrolls over the referenced event, which is basically just a sound effect, it's just a sound that plays. Sounds kind of like that with a long tail. And so yeah, the intensity parameter is set from something to something higher. That makes this scroll past this event, which triggers it like a one-shot sound effect. So very easy. So what's supposed to happen here is the music will play. I will change the parameter to be something between these two numbers, and we will hopefully hear the splash sound, because the intensity marker here scrolls past it, as well as the next piece of music when it gets to there. So let's see if it works. So yeah, it worked. That's pretty neat. A nice little trick you can use if you don't want to use a collider, for example. So yeah, thanks for watching, and bye bye.